Hey guys, enter the stars. And you know that it's rare, very rare, that I ever try to make a prediction about the future. But I want to share some synchronicities with you that are even more profound than the ones that we have discovered to this point. The year 2028 is 5788 in the Hebrew calendar. The last half of 2028. I will be 55 years old, and my daughter will be 33 years old within that year. Now, we've discovered a lot of information on 88, and maybe in fact it's pointing to the Hebrew year of 5788. Now, this is 14 years away, and Jesus would be 2,034 years old since his birth. Now, there's a passage in the Bible that talks about Jesus casting out demons into a herd of pigs. And it says here, when Jesus was casting out the demons into the pigs, he said to them, "What is your name?" And they said, "We are Legion." And then the demons say to Jesus, "What have we to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of God? Art thou come hither to torment us before the time?" Later we realize that there were 2,000 in the herd of swine. Now, this passage occurred in 28 AD. 2,000 may represent the number of years before the quote-unquote appointed time. 2028. "44 years before 2028 was 1984, and we covered many films from 1984. Now, this is the George Orwell novel 1984. Remember, 1984 is 44 years before 2028. And it just so happens that he started writing this novel in 1944. The story of 1984 begins with Winston Smith on 4/4/1984. Again, the story of Winston Smith begins on 4/4, according to the novel that was conceived in 1944. A novel called 1984, which is 44 years before 2028. 2028 being the Hebrew year 5788, and half of 88 is 44. April 4th, 4/4. 33 years before 2028 is 1995. And in the top films of 1995, Die Hard with a Vengeance, he had 30 minutes to find the number 3 train in the number 3 tunnel. And in Toy Story, it was based off of Tin Toy from 1988. In Apollo 13, there were 3 men stranded. In GoldenEye, he says 3 clicks and 3 disarms when talking about a bomb in the plot of that movie. And in the movie Seven, it had a $33 million budget. Again, 1995 was 33 years before 2028. And 37 years before 2028 was 1991, the year I graduated from high school. No man knows the day or the hour. The bottom line is, time is short. And if you haven't already done so, it's time to get right with God. That doesn't mean showing up to church every weekend. It doesn't mean walking around with the Bible in your hand and preaching on street corners and dropping to your knees in the middle of public and praying. That's not what this is about. This is about each and every choice and decision that you make in your life that affects other people and the temple of your body. It's about respecting the Creator, the person who made you, and the body He gave you. It's about respecting the body that He's given to other people and the choices and decisions that you make that affect other people. The way you speak to them, the way you treat them, the way you love them. It's about searching for truth because you know deep down in your heart that it will set you free because you actually believe what the Bible says. It's about wanting to seek that truth instead of seeing Bible study as a commitment. And finally, and most importantly, it's about accepting the fact that you were created and acknowledging Jesus Christ. Now, what I just told you is much different than what religions will tell you of how to be saved. If you don't tithe, you don't show up to church, they tell you you might have a problem. But a strange thing happens when you do the things that I just outlined to you. You don't want to sin anymore. It no longer becomes a struggle because it's as if Jesus is sitting right next to you. And you can't even sin if you tried. That's what happens when you learn the truth. And it will set you free. Take care and be safe, you guys.